Happy supermoon in Cancer. This is a live stream that I don't know how many people are going to attend because I really didn't advertise it too much because I've been busy behind the scenes. But if you're watching this replay, that's super awesome. And we're just gonna give it a couple minutes, to get going. And what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be doing a little bit of answering some questions about where you want to go in the next year, what you want to do, maybe some paths you want to take. It is a supermoon in Cancer, so we're going to write a letter of forgiveness to let some things go for this year. And yeah, some other things and stuff along the way. So just needing to send this quick email to the people who RSVP'd because I want to make sure that they have the workbook. I launched something kind of late today and I didn't expect anyone to actually sign up for it, but they did, so that's actually great because that means that more people are going to do that. So basically what I did today, was hang on, let me just send this and I can talk normally. Just need this other email. Done. So if you're wanting to join us, all you need to get is a notebook and a little bit of water if you want, and we're just going to hang out and yap and talk about some goals, or you can do whatever you were doing before that. But I do this twice a month, every full and new moon, and I've been doing it for a lot of years, and I couldn't really do it last year because I was just trying to survive, but I'm feeling excited that it is the 3rd of the month. We're starting off strong with a supermoon, and we're right back here doing this, which is awesome. This is the workbook for tonight, so I need to send this to people. Haven't done talking. I haven't talked all day. I've been just working on the computer. How are you guys? Where are you from? What are you doing? Well, we're getting ready for people to come. We'll see if people come. If not, I think a lot of people watch these replays. Should I write more? It doesn't matter. Greetings. Okay, are we ready to get to this? I don't want to wait too much longer. I just want to get started. So, share with people? Yes. Anyways, okay guys, how are you? How's the sound, by the way? Is it okay? Is it okay sound? Not good sound? Maybe good sound? Okay, well, I think I'll give this maybe 5 more minutes. So, like I was saying, it is a supermoon in Cancer. I fell off my motorcycle again for the 3rd time. But this one was kind of my fault because they told me to get a new tire and I didn't. And I went in this big pothole and it popped and then I fell. Whatever. But really crashing into 2026. So hopefully hi, how are you? Hopefully the last couple of days have been better for you, but if not, whatever. So tonight, like I said, we're gonna be doing, I'm good. We're gonna be doing a little bit of visualization in for the next year. So like we'll talk about the different houses of astrology which represent the areas of your life. So even if you're not into astrology, it doesn't even matter. This is just a really, really good way for you to stay on track with goal setting and working on, you know, shadow work and releasing what's holding you back, shadows, etc. Just twice a month. That's it. That's all you have to do, and you'll be surprised how fast you start manifesting your goals. So tonight we are, like I said, I have a few questions that I'm gonna ask, and we're gonna visualize different houses. And if you have the ADHD Alien app, which if you don't have it, you should get it, because what are you waiting for? And in there's a mission number 4, which is called the Lunar Life Blueprint. And the Lunar Life Blueprint is where you can store these answers. So then throughout the year, the app will remind you what your goals are in all of those houses of astrology for during that time. Pretty sweet. So if you have the app and you go into the app today, I made a whole bunch of updates. So you'll see that there's a spot, now there's like a big, because it's a wolf moon, so there's like a big animated like wolf moon, and then you can click it, and it goes to the new cosmic calendar. So the cosmic calendar, I actually programmed all of the new and full moons for 2026 into there. You're welcome, so everything's in there. And I also attached my new and full moon release and manifestation rituals right into the app. So you can just, every new and full moon, there'll be an alert that appears on your control panel that will say it's what it is, a new and a full moon, whatever with the thing, and then you just click it, and you can just, it will say your manifestation for that house of astrology is this, and then you use that to do the new or full moon ritual. Bada bing, bada boom. It's just all saved right there for you. So I've been wanting to put that in the app for like the entire time, and I got it completed today. All right. Get your water, get your journals, and let's just get to this. I don't assume a lot of people are going to be here watching it because I didn't really promote it at all. I just popped up on the live stream. I've been super busy. I am trying to get the donut shop open this month. This is the month. This is the crunch month to get everything open. So it's just like a lot of things. So I don't really have a lot of time to mess around. So, okay, are we ready? Who's doing this? Are you guys hanging out to do the ritual or whatever? Or yeah, whatever? Hi, how are you? How are you? Sounds super Canadian when I say that. No one is doing it? That's not true. You are? Okay, awesome. Even if just one person is, then that's fine with me. Okay, well, do you have your journal ready? This one isn't going to be too complicated. I wish, no way. No, my parents don't have money. They have money for themselves, but that's about it. Okay, so, yeah, like I said, tonight I have some questions we're gonna visualize, and then if you wanna write a manifestation in each house of astrology, we're just gonna go through this, and then we're gonna write a letter of forgiveness, because it is a full moon, so we'll do a little bit of shadow work in there, all right? Okay, so let's just get to it. How are you? How's your 2026? Make sure you hit that like, and drop a lot of comments so more people can get in here, and then they don't come in like 20 minutes and they're like, make me repeat myself. So drop a lot of comments, share the live stream, whatever you do on YouTube. I don't even really know anymore. But it is a supermoon in Cancer. So a supermoon means the moon is the closest in its orbit to Earth. So it can cause things like king tides, and statistically there are more people in the emergency rooms during full moons, and supermoons actually make that energy a little bit more chaotic. But they're also really good for bringing up things that you need to fix, aka your motorcycle tire, or you might be feeling emotional about a certain thing. That's usually like the signs that you need to work on that. So whatever has been kind of bothering you right now, it's very important that you work on that so that you can move on. So this full supermoon is in the sign of Cancer, which is there any Cancers in the house? What are you guys' signs? Hi, how are you? What is your sign? I'm an Aquarius, but this is in the sign of Cancer, which naturally rules the fourth house of home. Okay, so right now we're gonna really, and this is so on par for me right now because I hate the house that I'm in. I don't like to use hate, but I hate this house. So this is perfect time for me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna think about our current home situation, what we like about it, etc. If we want to change anything, if you love it, great, that's awesome. But if there's maybe some things you want to change, then we can see what that is and etc. Okay? Sound good? Okay. So you know that we don't just jump into these things like right off the bat because most people are usually stressed out. And when you're stressed out, you release the stress hormone cortisol, which is in fight, flight, or freeze. And its job is to keep you alive on the planet no matter what, okay? But usually, if we are in this mode, we make choices based on survival, which is usually short-term thinking. So if you wonder why you're stuck in cycles, or you're like, oh, I don't know why I can always just only make enough, you're probably only setting your goals for just enough, being like, oh, well, I only need 500 to pay my bill, or I only need 600 to pay my bill. Sound familiar? Please drop a lot of comments because then we're going to really boost the live, get more people in there. Make sure you hit that like, by the way, too. Only 4 likes. Yeah, right. I know all 8 of you like this. Okay, so we'll keep going. But it is, I should have been careful because I have ADHD and I lost my train of thought. But anyways, oh, hey, how's it going, Joe? Thanks. Are you going to do the ritual? I don't want to call it a ritual anymore. I think it's gonna, oh yeah, right. If you're wondering why, yes, exactly, sounds familiar. Okay, so, what we're going to do is make sure that we, oh fuck, I completely did lose my train of thought there, but, what was I saying? Tell me what I was saying. Get me back on train. That was a good thought. I need to be able to say that YouTube promotion stuff, which I don't normally do. It was important. I know what I was saying. What was I saying? Come on. Give me a hint. Someone's typing it. Anyways. That thought just went, oh yeah, not a ritual. Yeah, I don't want to call it a ritual because really what it is, well, ritual just means that you do something consistently at the same time all the time, but the word ritual kind of scares people away. Unfortunately, usually scares like men away, which is super silly, doesn't need to, but if everybody is welcome to do this. It is not spiritual unless you want it to be. You can make it spiritual if you want, but I want to honestly ask you how often, oh yeah, scarcity mindset. How often are you setting your goals? How often do you do shadow work, which is just acknowledging and healing limiting or unwanted thoughts or behavior patterns, just trying to make yourself a little better every day. So there's this word, it's called Kaizen, and it's the Japanese term for just being a little bit better every day. You don't need to like say, okay, every day I need to climb this mountain and be the best. No, how can you just improve a little bit every system every day, right? You just have to beat yourself. You don't need to be in competition with anybody, okay? So, and if you have a scarcity mindset and you're only asking for just enough, that's why you're getting it. So, I was talking about cortisol. Aha, we got back on the train. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna set a timer this time just for 3 minutes. Because it is a full moon, it is very important to release energy so you can bring new energy in. That means like, so for me today during full moons, I clean my whole house. Like I clean my whole house usually every day anyways, but like I do like everything, like top to bottom, everything. And then I try and tackle like if I have like an area that needs special attention. So if you have a doom box, which is, does anyone have doom boxes? That's a thing or a box or a place that things go that don't have a place. So it could be a chair, it could be a drawer, it could be your counter, it could be a corner, it could be an actual box. Do you have doom boxes? So full moons are a good time to work on them. So you don't have to do them all at once. Just say, this full moon, I'm gonna work on this doom box. Okay, so so for 3 minutes, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you a couple of tasks so we can work on combating cortisol. Because we're gonna work on combating cortisol. Because if we're gonna do goal setting and talk about visualization, you don't wanna go into this you know, feeling stressed out, or you may just only ask for enough. That's why I was talking about it. It's an importante topic, okay? So I'm gonna set a timer for 3 minutes, and I want you to tell me in the comments, we're gonna pick something in your house that you're gonna clean or tidy up for 3 minutes, okay? So write it in the comments, claim it, say whatever. You know, you don't have to say exactly what it is, like bedroom, bathroom, countertop, dishes, and we're only gonna do it for 3 minutes. We're gonna get moving, we're gonna get up. I ain't had a donut. What are you guys gonna work on? I'm gonna get the timer while you're typing that out. Dishes, okay, amazing. Hang on. Okay, my house really is super clean, but I think I have 1 or 2 dishes in the sink, so I'm gonna get those. Who else is doing it? I feel like, is there only one person doing this? What's the other word for ritual? I'll think of it. Or we can just call it that. It's loading. Okay, so why are we doing this? Again, cleaning, getting up, and moving your body is one of the easiest ways to produce dopamine, which combats the stress hormone cortisol, which is going to help you write better long-term goals. There is a reason for this madness. Like, I don't just do this stuff randomly. And also, I know a lot of people in here probably have want to be better, a little bit cleaner, want better cleaning habits. Okay, 3 minutes. Are you ready? Cleaning the kitchen table, dishes. Okay, we're gonna set the timer. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, go. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. There's a cord there. 1. Perfect timing. All right, guys, that was 3 minutes. How are you feeling? Hi, guys. If you're wondering what we're doing, we're just getting into our full supermoon release ritual. And this is the first supermoon of the year. And if you're not consistently working on your goals, you can't be confused or surprised why you're feeling lost, stuck, you know, all those feelings like, I don't know what my path is, I don't know what my purpose is, blah, 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 blah. There's so many people that feel that way. And the first question I always ask them is, okay, well, what are your goals? What do you have going on? And they'll be like, oh, well, I don't really know. And I'm like, well, that's your first problem. And I figured out a really easy system to check in with all different areas of your life in an easy way throughout the year without being overwhelmed, without feeling like, yeah, you have to follow this complicated schedule. All you have to do is see if it's a new or a full moon, and then decide if you're going to do shadow work, so just releasing attachments, seeing, you know, refueling, self-love, etc., or a manifestation where you're taking aligned action and saying, I want to move forward, and then moving forward. That's all you have to do. And the cool thing is the moon goes through all the different zodiacs in a new and full moon once a year. So throughout the year, in a healthy, effective way, you will touch base in all 12 areas of your life. So the 12 houses of astrology represent the 12 areas of your life, and they've come down to us unchanged from Babylonian times. And it's for a reason, because it still represents everything. So that all we're gonna do is just see, okay, tonight it's a wolf supermoon in Cancer, and Cancer naturally rules the 4th house of home. So what we're gonna do, because we're doing full moon, like I said before, is statistically brings up emotions. There's more people in the emergency room, teachers, people who work with people with special needs, people who work in old folks' homes. They know when it's a full moon just because people are a little wily. That's just how it is. So we generally work on the schedule where we're refueling and touching base on what we need to let go of, so that we can move into different stages in our life. And if you're feeling like super chill, awesome, then just do self-care or whatever. Sound good? Okay. So, we're kind of doing a little bit of a mix tonight because it is the first moon of the year. So we're kind of going to mix a little bit of manifestation in with the normal full moon release ritual. Because normally during a full moon, we would just do a bit of shadow work and whatever, touch base on only one thing, but we're gonna do a little bit more tonight, okay? All right, so how is everyone feeling? Let me know in the comments. Where are you from? Make sure you boop that like. And we are going to start out today. I have some questions, and I want, actually we're gonna do higher self connection first. Gratitude and then higher self connection. And why? Same reason we did a little bit of cleaning, okay? So I know 2026, 2025 was challenging, and 2026 has been pretty challenging. I fell off my motorcycle yesterday. But we are still going to go through it, and you can focus on all the things that are giving you trouble or that are hard, and that's something you can do, but it produces the stress hormone cortisol, or you can focus on things that are going well. And it's totally up to you. And focusing on things going well isn't to saying, you know, oh, you don't care about the things that aren't. It's just you need to decide if you need to move forward, you need to be solution-based, or you want to sit in it for a while. That's your choice. But if you're ready to move forward, we want to get into a different mindset. So, when's the last time you practiced gratitude? I'm going to say, did you practice gratitude this week? Put your hand up. 5 people left as soon as I said gratitude. That's so crazy. The world wonders why they're so stressed out all the time. It's like people like see like, oh, this person, oh, gratitude, that's so stupid and lame. It's like, okay. But I live every day. When people ask me if I'm happy, I can honestly say yes. How many people can say that? Honestly. If I was to ask you if you're happy, there's not a lot of people that say yes. So it's and it's the small percentage of people that say they are happy. I can say that probably, I'm gonna make up a statistic, but I'll probably say like more than 75% of them practice gratitude. Why? It's not some woo-woo thing. So when you practice gratitude or think about things you're grateful for, it literally produces dopamine and serotonin. It literally produces the motivational and, you know, neurotransmitters in your brain that regulate the stress hormone cortisol. It's not just some like woo-woo thing. It literally is one of the easiest, most accessible ways for you to change your mindset. And if you're like, man, I'm stuck in cycles, I don't want to be where I'm at anymore, and I don't know why I can't change, well, you need more motivation. You need more momentum to make the change. So pain is a really big catalyst for change, but you actually need to have dopamine and serotonin to take the action to use that momentum, right? Exactly. Okay, so let's practice a little bit of gratitude right now. And great job. Hands, you wrote down gratitudes this week. Love that. Amazing. Okay, so we're gonna write down 10 or more, but I wanna challenge you. Instead of writing, I'm grateful for my house, my car, my this, my that, I want you to take out the my, and I want you to think about the traits and qualities you appreciate in those things. So I'm grateful for a safe and secure home with a fenced yard and hot water and a washing machine. I'm really focusing on the fourth house of home today because, man, my house, I had to move here last minute, and it is probably the worst housing situation I've lived in my entire life. Like, I'm not even joking. I live in Costa Rica, by the way, in case you're like, how is this happening? But I have no hot water, no washing machine, no fenced yard, and I have 2 dogs. Like, there was no furnishings in here. The fridge makes a ton of sound. There's no window in the kitchen, which I didn't know, so there's bugs in here all the time. And the worst part is the neighbor, he gets up every day and plays his radio of like crappy English music that plays the same 50 songs over and over again every day like it's in my kitchen. So I can't even do voiceovers or recordings because it literally sounds like the radio's in the kitchen. So I'm going crazy, but anyways. All right, so back to gratitude. The best way too is if you're like stuck in a loop like that, if you're thinking about all the things that are going wrong, I also challenge you to think about what you're grateful in that. So maybe you're having a lot of challenges with one of your children. I want you, instead of saying like, oh, they're so loud and obnoxious, say, I'm grateful for an outgoing child that's brave. Because I mean, it might annoy you, but also that's someone that's probably gonna do big things or could do big things, right? Okay, so write down 10 things. Do you get what I mean? So take the my out. I'm grateful for a safe, secure home with a fence and a washing machine and hot water. I'm grateful for an amazing friend group that is safe and supportive and honest and no drama. I'm grateful for amazing, beautiful pets, that kind of thing. Lady! I think there's a little crab in here. They come out in from under the door and then the pets eat them. It's not good. Lady! Don't eat the crabs. Okay, so write down 10. I'm gonna do them with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let me know one of them in the comments and then a thumbs up to let me know you're done. And if you're watching the replay, make sure you still get in on this engagement. Like, it's awesome to just kind of claim it, put it out there. And also tells the algorithm that this is the kind of content you want to see. There's not a lot of people making really positive content right now. It's honestly hard to find. So I'm making it kind of like, not a mission, but a goal to just put some positivity out there because it's pretty crazy in the world and we don't need any more. Let's just talk about some cool things that are happening. Also, YouTube's like really boring. Kids on YouTube are like really like, they just do the same 3 trends over and over and over again. It's so boring. And then they just watch people on YouTube live that are doing just weird, fucked up shit. Whatever. I don't want to rot my brain. I think people are pretty over brain rot. Okay, anyways. I'm grateful for financial abundance. And remember, we always speak in present tense. Why? This is muy importante. Because the choices that you make now is what leads you to your future. And the choices you made in your past lead you here. So we say it in the now, like, I'm grateful for financial abundance, because then you will continue to make choices that align with financial abundance. I'm grateful for a safe, secure home. Okay, well then you need to make choices that align with that, or you'll find that there's friction in those areas of your life. So you always say it in present tense, because the more you make those choices in the present, you quicker you get to the future. Time is all like a mishmash of now, right? So, and you can change the past by changing your thoughts about the past. So it's all a mishmash of now, but the more choices that you make that align with your higher self and your goals now, the quicker you get to them. right? You can decide that you're confident and financially abundant and powerful and consistent, and you work out every day and you're strong and you eat healthy. You can decide that right now. And then every time you make a choice that aligns with that, you get more consistent with that energy and you step into it. The goal is just to not quit. The thing is, a lot of people have these crazy expectations of themselves, like, okay, I need to make all these big changes. I don't believe in that. Just say you have this goal of being, this is your higher self, and then every day consciously try to get there. You don't need to think about whether you did or didn't do it this day. Just if you do it, remember it. Like, okay, this is my energy. I got to step into it. And then if you keep finding friction, then figure out why. Make sense? I know I'm yapping a lot, but I got a lot of knowledge to drop today. I'm grateful for opportunities. I'm really grateful for the patience of my commercial landlord, because at one point I had to pay my commercial rent for my donut shop 1 whole month late. But I need this opportunity more than life itself almost. So I'm really grateful for her patience. She's so excited for it to be open. I'm grateful for Canadian passports. I actually have to go to Nicaragua on Monday. I'm grateful for, what are you grateful for? Let me know some things in the comments. Clean water. I'm grateful, kind people rescuing me, and generosity of strangers. Strong, healthy, and energetic body. Yes. Grateful for a new job opening up. Love it. I'm grateful for nature. And animales. Animals. Oh no. I have 2 more. I keep forgetting. Look at this. Today I had to cut a piece of my skin off with scissors that was hanging off. It was the most disgusting thing. Grateful for, knowledge. Because I'm an emergency medical responder, so I can take care of myself. And I'm grateful for independence. Okay, ready to move on to the next thing? So, next thing we're going to do is our higher self connection. We're just going to fly through these things, okay? So, your higher self, who does not know how to connect with their higher self? Is there anybody? Put just a hands up emoji. Or you do or you don't. Well, that's it. I literally said, I posted a video on TikTok, actually. I'm going to post it on YouTube. You just reminded me. But I did say that. I said, I'm grateful for my earth angels because I always seem to fall around people who are really easy and ready to help me. And then I'm also grateful that it wasn't worse. But my motorcycle's 150 cc's. It doesn't go fast. So even if you tumble on it, as long as you wear your helmet, which I'm glad I did, because look at this. I would have smashed my face for sure. Look. It would have completely fucked up my whole face. It hit me in the neck. I got hit in the neck, and then I got Okay, you don't know how to connect with your higher self? Okay, let's do it. I should say trigger warning, blood. All right, so there's going to be people also watching the replay that don't know. So your higher self is the most confident, authentic version of you. Again, it doesn't have to be spiritual, and I don't really think it is. We have our higher self and our shadow self, and it all works together as a system. So your higher self is when you are producing dopamine and serotonin and your life is balanced. That's basically what it is. So I wrote a Facebook post the other day with a really good analogy about ships. So when I'm feeling really overwhelmed, I know I need to release some weights from my ship. meaning I need to see what I need to let go of, what tasks I can complete, and just let those things go. Because ships, they actually, when they're loaded correctly and to their max capacity, they actually operate the most efficient. They have the most momentum. But if they're overloaded or unevenly distributed, then they are exposed to damage and possibly even sinking. And that really does represent life. So imagine every task, appointment, project, thing you have to do is like a boulder or a load on your ship. If you're finding that you're drowning, overloaded, feeling uneven, then you really need to say, I need to let some things go. And you might have to communicate with some people and say, hey, I know I said I could do this project, but I'm drowning. And I unfortunately can't do it for you right now. Maybe if it's not time bound, I can come back to it and do it later. And some people might be mad at you, but they can just be mad. If they get mad at you for you telling them that you're drowning and you need to like save yourself, they're not your friend anyways. And if it's work, whatever, they can just be mad, right? Because you can't work when you're drowning. And so your higher self is your most confident, authentic version of you, and your shadow self is your protector. So it's when you go into protection mode, so fight or flight. So if you are experiencing a stressor, or you are stressed out, or you think of a stressor, and then you go into fight or flight, your shadow self is the actions and reactions you have when you're feeling that way. And your shadow self is like I said, your protector. It's not there to it's not bad, it's not something you get rid of. But sometimes your shadow self has actions and reactions that don't align with your higher self or where you want to go in life. So for example, maybe when you were a kid, you had a parent that yelled at you a lot, and that made you shut down, and that made them stop yelling at you sooner, which was effective. But if you carry that into adulthood and you're in a relationship and you're feeling triggered, your brain doesn't always know the difference between a dinosaur, someone yelling at you, a hard test. It just says, we feel threatened, shut down. And now what you were doing before, which is gray rocking, is now stonewalling, which is abuse. It's a form of abuse. You can't just shut down on someone, pack a backpack and leave and not communicate. That's very bad in a proper, mature relationship, right? So sometimes we need to sit down and say, okay, maybe this helped me in the past, and thank you to my my younger self, and thank you to my shadow self, but I need to work on this. I can't be shutting down. I need to say, hey, I'm feeling like shutting down. So you can't always choose your emotions, but you can communicate differently and say, hey, I need to take 5 minutes to myself, leave me alone, and if I need more time, I'm gonna tell you, but you need to respect that boundary. And if someone can't respect you, then you need to make your decision accordingly, right? But once we know how our higher self is calm and non-reactive and emotionally and financially independently secure, etc., then we can say, okay, are these things aligned, yes or no? And that's what we do during the full moon or the new moon. Huh? Make sense? Okay, so how do you connect with your higher self? Write down my higher self is, and now I want you to list the traits and qualities of you when you are in your most confident, authentic energy. So like I just said, calm, non-reactive, emotionally and financially independently secure, consistent, persistent, abundant, a guide. Okay, so write down those qualities right now, and write some of them in the comments too. Why? Because if someone else sees that in the comments and they resonate with that trait or quality, you should write it down. So if you're hearing me and you're like, oh, well, my higher self is financially abundant, but I don't feel like that now, write it down. Why? This isn't just a list of things you want to be, it's a list of energy you're stepping into. And remember, we need to make decisions now that equal that energy, but how do we know what decisions to make if we don't know what that energy is, right? So write it down in the now, okay? Make sense? And now every decision you can, once you know your higher self energy and you know what your goals are and you're really clear on this, the decisions in life become so much easier. And this is the magic of where manifestation comes in, because you can't control everything. You can't control the opportunities that you get. You can't control the decisions of other people. You can try to manipulate them, but you can't control them fully. Well, you shouldn't. And, right? So the magic of manifestation is you do what you can control. So you align your energy the best you can, and then universe, spirit, God, whatever you believe, provides the opportunities and a little bit of boost and motivation and people to help you get there. It literally is that simple. This does not have to be a complicated thing. You just say, hey, my higher self is this. These are the goals that I have, and now every decision, every person that comes, you can say, does this align with this? Yes or no. If the answer is no, choose accordingly. That's the problem, though. Sometimes it's the choices that can be hard. But how much do you want your goals? That's what you really need to ask yourself. How important is it for you? That's why some people stay where they're at, because they think they want to change, but it's really not that important, or they would do something about it. Or they don't have the education to do it. That's another thing. Okay, so calm. Financially abundant. Now, let me know some of them in the comments. Just in case other people, you want to inspire people. Consistent. I'm really working on consistency this year. My higher self finishes what I start. That's my main thing, is like get a whole bunch of things off my plate this year and get everything running automatically so I can just focus on the things I love doing, which is running the donut shop and doing these. I'm gonna do these live. We're gonna back up the moon rituals, but here on YouTube, and you know why? Because it's now connected to my app. So what I'm gonna do after this live stream finishes is I'm gonna take the link, and the link is gonna be put in the app underneath this section. So now people can go, once this full moon passes, if they miss it or they miss the live stream, they can just go into the app and watch the full live stream from the app. And you know why that's amazing? Because these lives, the app, people watching it through the app counts as watch hours. So I still have a monetized YouTube watch hours through the app. Oh, the app is so cool. Oh my God. I have added so many upgrades to it the past week. Ooh, it's almost at its final stages. So if you guys don't already have it, get in on it. It's literally $20 US one time. Not 20 bucks a month, 21 time. But once it goes into the App Store, it's gonna be $69.99 because it's a really, really cool app. Patience, having better self-esteem. Awesome. Okay, so instead of saying working on patience, I want you to write my higher self is patient. Write it. I want you to write my higher self is confident. You need to write this because we're going to do a shadow self list too, right after this, actually. Okay, so I really want you guys to be really clear on this list. Write as many traits and qualities and think about the different areas of your life. How do you feel, about your communication, about your home, about your job, about your friends? We're going to talk more about that tonight. So think about all the different areas, about your health, about your schedules, about your different habits, your cleanliness. I'm trying to think of everything. Okay? Write all of that in your higher self list. So if your higher self keeps the house clean, write that down. This is our big full year list. This is why I'm really pushing you to go all out on this one, because this is the first one of the year. No slacking. We're going to try our hardest all the time. Okay, so, and it is in Cancer, this supermoon, so think about your home specifically. But okay, and tell me give me a thumbs up when you guys think you're finished. I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes. Ooh, I'm writing debt-free. I think I can be debt-free. I know I can be debt-free this year. Your words matter. I will do it and I want to do it is 2 completely separate energies. Okay, so my higher self is calm, non-reactive, financially abundant, consistent, finishes what I start, debt-free, strong, and healthy. Thumbs up. Nice. Emotionally secure, non-reactive, communicates effectively. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Communicates effectively. I like that. I'm putting that one on mine. I'm putting directly and effectively because I'm going into this new boss area of my life with the donut shop. So fiscally responsible. Ooh, love it, love it. Okay, now we're gonna go right, because it is a full moon, we are gonna go right into what your shadow self is. So like I talked about before, you have your higher self as your guide. This is your energy, your most confident, authentic, motivated self. Pardon me. Okay, your shadow self is your protector. So how do we figure out what traits and qualities or shadows do you have? It's actually really easy now because you have your higher self list. Just like I said with your goals and your manifestations, you can't be surprised if you're feeling lost, if you don't know where you want to go. Well, how do you know what's holding you back if you don't know what energy you want to be in? Okay? So, I want you to write down my shadow self is. Okay, now what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the first thing on your higher self list, and I want you to honestly ask yourself, do I feel? So, higher self, do I feel calm? And just be honest. The more honest you are, the easier it is to work through it and move on. Okay, even if you're a little bit unsure, put it on the shadow self list. And remember, your higher self and shadow self lists are gonna evolve over time, and they're gonna change, maybe daily, maybe weekly. This is why we do this multiple times a month. We're just going with the flow. Okay, so do I feel calm? Actually, I do. I do. Yeah. So if your answer is yes, you move on. If the answer is no, you want to put my shadow self is the opposite of calm. So reactive. Okay. If your higher self is confident, I want you to ask yourself, do I feel confident? If the answer is no, then you want to put my shadow self is insecure. We're also practicing your vocabulary in here. Yeah. Okay, so if your higher self is debt-free and you're not there yet, your shadow self is not debt-free or has debt. Okay, so go through that list. Does that make sense? If you're aligned with it, just be aligned with it and be like, yes. Now, if you're like, oh, well, I'm not aligned with any of those things, that's fine. There's a lot of people that are stepping into totally new versions of yourself, and the fact that you could even think of your higher self list proves that you're stepping into that new version of yourself, and you should be so proud of yourself. Because remember, there's so many people out there that are completely unconscious of how they are, and they don't do anything like this in their life, and they just expect the world to bend to them, and that is not the type of people that I hang around. Okay, I do think we can change at any point in our life. It could be harder, but we can change, we can be different, we can step into a new energy anytime we want. We just have to really want it, do it, get educated, get inspired, and take in the actions. Yes. Okay, so my shadow self is not debt-free, not yet. And I am still inconsistent in some areas. As working on becoming healthier. Because I'm not completely not working out anymore, but I'm not doing like full workouts, but I do take time every day to move my body properly. I'm a certified personal trainer, so like I do like sets of squats and that kind of things, but I really want to get into like full workouts again. So I'm not quite not healthy, but I'm not quite there either. So you can say working on. Okay? So does that make sense? Okay, so you have your higher self as your guide, your shadow self is your protector, and you'll find that when you're stressed out, your shadow self jumps back into these modes of being reactive or inconsistent and, you know, not healthy, eating bad foods, etc., right? And the more we work on healing these shadows, the more when we're stressed out, we just turn to different coping mechanisms versus our shadows. I used to have so many shadows. I've been doing shadow work now for like 6 years, and I've taught it to millions of people, literally millions of people. So it's extremely helpful, but you have to integrate not just journaling. You need to get out there and move your body and drink water and practice gratitude and do the other things too. It's not just about sitting there and journaling, and that's why I always mix those things together. So, okay, makes sense? Yeah, we're all good? Give me a thumbs up when you're done that part. Thumbs up. Are you guys writing thumbs up, or is their thumbs up button is writing thumbs up for you? It's not actually giving the emoji of the thumbs up anymore. It's just saying thumbs up. I'm confused. But let's just keep going. Okay, so now that you have some idea of what your shadows are and you're feeling a little bit more clarity on your higher self, this is where we get into the schedule of what area of life are you working on. So, because this supermoon is in the sign of Cancer, Cancer naturally rules the 4th house of home. Okay? So, I have a couple questions, like I said, so we can kind of visualize the different areas of our life. So we're going to start with the 4th house of home, because we're going to work through that, and then we'll talk about the other ones, okay? So this is like your home and your emotional safety. So you can write these answers down, or you can just ruminate on them. But the first question is, what does your ideal home environment look like and feel like? So describe it. You can describe what your home looks like. How many rooms does it have? Does it have hot water? Does it have a fence? Does it have these kind of things? Like, your home is really, really, really important. It's your safety, it's your security, it's where you can be yourself, it's where you can have stress relief, it's where you can do these rituals, it's where you can express your creativity. Your home is really, really, really important. And if it's one of those houses that if it's on fire, literally everything else can be on fire. If you don't have a safe home, how are you feeling confident making a lot of money? If you don't have a safe home that you love, how are you communicating clearly? If you don't have a safe home that you love, how are you having friends over or encouraging relationships? It really affects a lot of almost every area of your life. It's really important. And that's why I think it's really awesome that it's the 1st house. And also we have 3 moons in the 4th house of home this year. It's really quite a focus on the 4th house. We don't have 3 moons in any other house this year except the 4th house. So it's a big focus. So if you're not really loving your home, you're not feeling at home, you don't like the city you're in, this is a good year to change it. Okay, so write it down, describe it. My home is. And if you feel comfortable, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Or my home has. My home has hot water. I actually need to move by the 11th of this month. It's like I have to move. This house isn't available anymore. So on top of everything I'm doing, I also have to move, but that's okay. I also want it to be close to the donut machine. I was writing washing machine. Close to the donut shop, because it's gonna be really, really busy. It's a new shop. I'm gonna need to be there a lot. And if I'm there a lot, I need to be able to get home, and it's 50 plus minutes, and it's dangerous. The roads are dangerous. There's no spotlights. There's no street lights. You can, it's dangerous. The roads are not chill. So I don't want to be doing that multiple times a day and being on the road for 2 hours when there's a bunch of drunk tourists. Like, I literally could die. So I really want to move closer. I will move closer. And I would like to be in a friendly, all the neighborhoods are friendly, but I want to be in one with friendly young people. Because where I live right now, this small town has just too many old people. Love it. Fence, full basement with, yeah, love it. Okay. Now, how do you want it to feel? And what city? If you don't care about what city, that's awesome. For manifestation, if you're willing to move, you never know what you could find if you're willing to move. Yeah, so what we're doing now is I'm mixing kind of 2 parts. So normally during a full moon, we would just look at our 4th house of home and say that we already know what it is. But because this is the first